Hello, my dear students. I am Miss Chawan, your math teacher, if you remember. I would like to talk about adding and subtracting fractions. It's the first and second lesson in chapter 10. We used to start chapter 10 start on holidays. So here I'm going to explain it shortly. I hope you to understand. First, in adding and subtracting fractions, it's really important at the first step to make sure that the denominators are equal, of course, by using multiplications. Second, add or subtract the numerators. Here I wrote numerators because you need to add and subtract the numerators, not the denominators. So it's mean you're going to add and subtract just the top. A and B, I make it A and B, but in the book, it's lesson 1 and lesson 2. Lesson 1, it's a use a fraction bar, but we're not going to use a fraction bar, a drawing in another meaning. It took a lot of time and mental math is better. So I have a couple examples for you. I'm going to explain the first one. You have 2 4s plus 3 8s here. You notice that 4 and 8, the denominators are not equal, and it should be equal. It must be equal. So I'm going to think using mental math, how can I make them equal? 4 times 2. Oh, I have 4 times 2 equal to 8, so I can change the 4 to 8. So here, by using times 2, for the top and for the bottom, we're going to change the denominator 4 to 8. So at the next step, we're going to rewrite it and just solve the multiplication. So for 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2, 8. Now the denominators are equal, so solve it. For solving it, first draw a line. Second, put the denominators the same, 8, 8, 8, still 8. And because this plus, so plus the top, 4 plus 3, 7. Second example is the same. We have denominators 10 and 5, so you need to change the 5 to 10. Okay, 5 times 2 is 10. But do not forget that you need to multiply both of them by 2. Okay, so rewrite the example. 9 and 10 is still the same. 4 times 2, 8. 5 times 2, 10. Now, denominators are 10 and 10, so let's minus them. So we're going to say 10 minus 10 equals to 0. Can we minus the denominator? No. We need to just write the denominator the same. Okay? So just minus the numerator. 9 minus 8 equals 1. I have another examples for you. Example number 3. The same, change the 4 to 12. You can easily do it by using times 3. Okay, I would like to give you a little homework down there. Page 167 is better for you to solve it. It's easy. And I gave you like a note. We're not going to use fraction bars. Drawing in another meaning. Mental math is better. Okay, so remember that always. Let's move on to B, using least common multiple. I have an announcement for you. In this lesson, the name of least common multiple changed to least common denominator. Do you know why? They're still the same. They are still the same. Yeah, they are still the same way to solve, the same way to find least common multiple. But the name of least common multiple going to change to least common denominator because we will use it just for the denominators. And that's really clear. We will use a least common multiple for denominators. So it's better to say least common denominator. In all the slides, I mentioned that least common denominator is equal to least common multiple. So see this this little equal here. So it's easy. Just the same. Use the same way. But least common denominator is least common multiple. So the first example, 2/3 plus 1/4, or 2 on 3 plus 1 on 4. The denominators are not equal, so we need to make them equal. If we want to use a mental math, we cannot do it because we cannot multiply 3 by any number to be equals to 4. So in this case, we're going to use least common multiple. Now here it is least common denominator. So we're going to find least common denominator for 3 and 4. It's mean go 3 by 3, go 4 by 4. You're going to stop in another a number, which is share between both of them, 12. So here least common denominator is 12. So both the denominators should be 12. But how? How can we change the 3 to 12? How can we change the 4 to 12? By using, of course, multiplications. So how can I change the 3 to 12? By multiplying it to 4. How can I change the 4 to 12? By multiplying it to 3. So now both of denominators are 12. We don't have a problem, but be careful. You need to multiply the top also. When you multiply the 3 by 4 to be 12, you need to multiply the top 2 by 4 also. So we have here 8 plus 3. The final answer will be 12 and 12. I gave you a note. Before I said any number on itself, it will be 1. Be careful, in the book it's written that write the answer in simplest form. So you need to go back to some other chapters in the book to see how can you change or write as a simplest format. It's really easy. You're going to find greatest common factor and use division. Let me remember you. So let's move on to next one. Here, number 2. Now we're going to use a usual way to do this. We're not going to rewrite the example more than 2 times. We have 5 on 6 minus 3 on 4. 6 and 4, they are not equal, and we need to make them equal. We cannot use a mental math, so we're going to use least common denominator for 6 and 4. So we found the least common denominator. We will stop in 24. So we need to make denominators 24, 24, 24. But how the 6 changed to 24? How this 4 changed to 24? Of course, by multiplications. So we need to find times which number equals to 24. 6 times 4, I wrote it here. 6 times 4 is 24. So you need to multiply the 5 by 4 again also. And 4 times which number equals to 24? It's 6. So you need to multiply the 3 also by 6. I didn't write here times 6 or here times 4 because you already know, we learned it in comparing fractions. We're going to just write it for the top because we already changed the denominators to 24 and 24. Now you need to just minus the numerators. It's mean the top. So 20 minus 15, just 5. So you're going to write the denominator the same, 24, 24, 24. Stop. That should be the same. I have a couple examples for you. The same. You have this example. It's the same like before. You need to find least common denominator, which is equals to 15 here, between 3 and 5. So change the 5 to 15, change the 3 to 15, and then do not forget to multiply the top. When you make the denominators equal, just minus or add the top. Okay? I have an example for you, which is not like the other examples, not usual. Look at this one. It is 1 minus 4 on 7. I'm going to say it again. 1 minus 4 on 7. So it's a whole number, a normal number, a natural number, minus a fraction. If you remember before, I gave you a note that whole numbers, if you want to write them as a fraction, always the denominators should be 1. The denominators are 1 for the whole numbers. So I gave you here like a note. It's here. Look at it. All the numbers, the whole numbers and the normal numbers, their denominators are 1. Okay? So you need to use it now. You need to do this, the line and the 1. So now we have a fraction and a fraction. So when you see any number, any whole number in the book, please just put a 1 under it. It will be a fraction. So you can solve it. Minus or plus the same. Now we need to find least common denominator for 1 and 7 for both denominator, for 1 and 7 for the denominators, not the top, for this imaginary one that we create, okay? And the 7. So 1 and 7, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of course, between 1 and another number, the denominator also will be the other number. It is 7. We need to change both to 7. This one already it is 7, so just write it. And 1 you need to multiply it by 7. Of course, both of them, then the numerator and the denominator multiplied by 7, it will be 7 on 7. Let's solve it normally. The denominators should be the same, 7, 7, 7, and the top 7 minus 4, it will be 3. So this example is not hard. Just do like I did. Okay, just put the 1 for the denominator, find least common denominator, and done. Plus it or minus it. The lessons itself is not hard. Already you learn it in 4th grade. Okay. So these explanation were in page 168, 169, 170. Please, I gave you a little homework also. This homework is a mixed between part A and part B. So it's a mix between using a mental math and using a least common denominator. So least common denominator is equal to least common multiple. Do not forget. Enjoy studying and please solve the examples. It's better for you. I will really, I hope that the schools be open soon and I'm going to see you back. Bye bye.